Even after losing last night in a gritty game against the Pistons, the Charlotte Hornets over the past 2 months have been one of the best teams in basketball, with the best offensive rating in the NBA too. So what exactly is going on? Is this sustainable? And will this have carryover in the postseason? Now the Hornets offense really boils down to its personnel. On the court, they always have 3 to 4 guys who can shoot, put the ball down, and make the right play. For example, in their starting lineup, you have Lamelo Ball, Brandan Miller, Kon Knueppel, and Miles Bridges. All those guys have pretty well-rounded skill sets. Despite his unorthodox playstyle, Lamelo is extremely talented with the ball in his hands. Off the bounce, he's a legit pull-up shooter from range. And then when he turns the corner, he does have good length and touch from below the arc. At the moment, it is safe to say that Lamelo isn't one of the top tier point guards in the NBA. At the same time, he can give you 30 plus on any given night. Plus, he's a legit passer from every spot on the floor. Kon Knueppel is another guy who provides a real 3-level scoring punch. In pick and rolls and handoffs, he can rise up for routine one-dribble pull-ups if he has too much space. And off the bounce, he has the physicality and control to attack the defense's body and carve out space in the mid-range. He can either separate out for stepbacks or rein in soft floaters. And then off the bounce, he's great at leveraging that shooting to pull the defense out of position to then create drives all the way to the rim. Even though Kon is still in his rookie year, the guy has the shot making and feel to create offense from all 3 levels.
But out in the suburbs, Knueppel, good luck.
Miles Bridges, on the other hand, is a walking matchup problem. He's another guy that can get into jumpers from range while having the physicality to lower his shoulder and abuse mismatches. And then over the past few weeks, you can make a case that Brandan Miller has been their best player. I put out a full video on him a couple of days ago, but to sum it up, he's yet another guy that's been creating efficient offense from all 3 levels. He's shooting over 40% from 3 over the past 12 games. He's looking more stable, patient, and confident in the mid-range. And then around the basket, he has the explosiveness and length to be an elite finisher. So that right there is 4 guys who can shoot from range, attack off the dribble, and create offense in the mid-range. But like we've seen too many times in the past, throwing together a bunch of talented players isn't enough to have a good offense. So the question is, how exactly do these players mold on the court? And do they actually make the game easier for one another? Well, the first thing they do a lot of is these guard-on-guard screening actions, specifically with Miller and Knueppel, where the both of them have the footwork to ghost out and find their base for stable jumpers. Or again, they can put the ball down and attack those aggressive rotations. But what really makes these actions work is having a guy on the ball who actually commands some respect as a scorer. And that's where having downhill threats like Lamelo and Bridges goes a long way.
His end of the floor. It'll be Miller.
And even though Miles isn't the best shooter on the move, you can still use him as a screener, where he can both catch and make plays in a short roll, or pop out and attack those closeouts. So with these 4 players, the Hornets kind of have 4 interchangeable parts. All of these guys can handle it at a pick and roll, where they can shoot from range, attack matchups, and generate offense from below the arc. Plus, they can all be plugged into actions as screeners, where they can either pop up behind the line, or put the ball down and attack those rotations. Another big element to the Hornets offense is just having a simple drive and kick system. Again, because they have multiple players who can both shoot from range and beat the first line defense, this naturally leads to a lot of breakdowns and the defense collapsing towards the ball. Knueppel here is going to get a handoff and turn the corner, which pulls a weak side down and creates this catch and shoot 3 for Lamelo. Now Lamelo is the one initiating the offense from the top of the key, and he's going to drive, collapse, kick it out, which gets Miller an open 3 on the wing. And it's also important to know how good the Hornets passing has been. They don't have top tier facilitators like Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic, but they do have plenty of guys who can make the right play and keep the defense in rotation. Lamelo Ball is a really solid passer out of pick and roll. Brandan Miller in isolation has a good feel of rotations and making the right play. And while he may not be a super advanced passer yet, Kon Knueppel is another guy who's more than willing to make the right play. Plus, their center Moussa Diabate has been a really good decision maker in the short roll. And with shooters and attackers spotting up all over the court, simple plays like these do go a long way. And Moussa Diabate specifically has been the centerpiece to the Hornets defense, which has been in the top 10 over this recent span of games. In his recent matchup against the Spurs, he was giving Wemby nonstop problem. But if you want to see this portion of the video, that's going to be exclusively for the members, where for less than 14 cents a day, you're going to get full access to weekly exclusive content. But regardless, I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one. The Kid's here.